Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu. This week we're talking about a legendary girl group in 4Minute. These girls are so badass, and we'll start by seeing how that was true even during their time as trainees and rookies. Next, we'll see how they pulled off their near impossible feat of making it big in Japan and Korea simultaneously, and then discover how they continue to perfect their image and top the K-pop charts. And finally, we'll reflect on how they paved the way for future girl groups and left an important legacy that still lives on today. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group here, share your pics in weekly videos, and join a vibrant Discord community with watch parties, custom emoji, and more, all you need to do is support Hallyu on Patreon. So 4Minute is a K-pop group that were one of the OG bad girls, and their story certainly lives up to that even before they debuted. Cube Entertainment revealed the group on May 14, 2009 with a huge announcement that the group would include Hyuna. Why was that a big deal? Well, Hyuna had already been in a big-name girl group, having debuted with the JYP group Wonder Girls just 2 years earlier. After a health-related hiatus, she switched labels and became the face of 4Minute. Within a week, the rest of the members were revealed, forming a quintet of Hyuna, Jihyun, Jiyoon, Gayun, and Sohyun. Now, these girls were supposed to debut earlier in 2009, but they didn't end up debuting until June 15th, and the reason why is wild. You see, in early 2009, the girls were tired of the intense schedule of preparing for their debut as trainees. So they decided they'd turn off all their phones, not tell their manager, and skip their lessons and practices for the day to go out and enjoy a day on the town. Well, as you can probably imagine, Cube Entertainment did not take too kindly to 4Minute breaking the rules, and Cube punished them by delaying their debut several months. So needless to say, that bad girl image these girls would go on to perfect had solid roots even in their pre-debut time. Now, like I said, 4Minute did finally make their debut in June with the single Hot Issue. I personally love this song. You could argue it's a stereotypical pop song, even to a fault maybe, but that doesn't bother me one bit. It is catchy. And the wild debut stories didn't end there, because within 6 days of their debut, the girls' van was raided by fans. 2009 was a different era, and labels definitely hadn't clued into the security that they would need for their stars. And as a result, 4Minute's van was raided by those crazy fans who took anything and everything from it, including clothing. All that being said though, their debut was a success, and they followed that up with their first EP, 4Music, with the title track Music, which also did very well. In fact, it got the girls their first music show win with the song, taking that win on Inkigayo. It wasn't all perfect though, because KBS actually banned one of their B tracks called Won't Give You for overly sexual lyrics. Though to be fair, KBS was being a bit heavy-handed with the decision. Either way, 4Minute had a great start, and with that they started expanding their horizons in a big way. Despite being a pretty new group, 4Minute signed with Universal Music Group to promote beyond Korea, and subsequently they set out on a tour across Thailand, the Philippines, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. And this is when 4Minute really started doing double duty, focusing on both Korea and Japan with their new music. They released a Japanese version of their song Music to make their Japanese debut on May 5th, 2010, and they held the concert in Japan 3 days later. Then the girls dropped Huh or Hit Your Heart, which really started showing off the bad girl side to the group. And fun fact, this was one of the K-pop songs included in the propaganda broadcasts meant for North Korean soldiers. 4Minute followed that hit up with another single from the album, I, My, Me, Mine, which again had a bit of an edgier concept as the group started to shift their image and distinguish themselves among other girl groups at the time. And as I was saying, Japan was a big focus. After the 2 Korean singles came out, they released a Japanese version of I, My, Me, Mine, and then another Japanese double A-side with the songs First and Dreams Come True, complete of course with a 2-stop tour in Tokyo and Osaka. 4Minute were really making it big on multiple fronts at this point, and if you needed any proof of that, check this out. They won a Bonsang Award at the 20th Seoul Music Awards in January of 2011, and then within a month they won the Best New K-Pop Artist at Billboard Japan Music Awards. As we've seen in deep dives about other groups like Rainbow, maintaining success in Japan and Korea at the same time is a very difficult thing to do, but 4Minute nailed it. How? Well, frankly, they just kept pumping out songs in both languages non-stop. Just listen to this list of releases from 2011 and 2012 by 4Minute. The girls released Heart to Heart and Mirror Mirror, had a Japanese collab with Thelma Aoyama, dropped the Japanese version of Heart to Heart, then a Japanese single Ready Go, then Volume Up, and finally yet another Japanese single Love Tension. That is a lot of new music, and there are plenty other collabs in that span as well that I didn't mention, like Hyuna's Bubble Pop and her appearance in Gangnam Style. At this point, everyone knew about 4Minute. They were an ultra-talented girl group who had shown they weren't afraid to break the girl group mold and incorporate some badass, edgy, and powerful images and sounds into their songs and music videos. So when they dropped What's Your Name in April of 2013, it was no surprise that this song was a chart-topping hit on Gaon and Billboard's K-pop Hot 100. They followed that up with the single Is It Poppin' and had yet another run-in with KBS, who banned the song from broadcast for explicit language. Funnily enough, they weren't banned for the song's title, because in Hangul it's translated as How's the Water, which is slang for asking if a club has a lot of hot girls in it. Either way, the single still did extremely well, but to me 4Minute's biggest success is with their next song, What You Doin' Today. This song was huge and it debuted at number 1. But the best way to understand how big 4Minute and this comeback were, in my opinion, is to look at the March 30th, 2014 episode of Inkigayo. This might be the most stacked top 3 finalists of all time on a music show. You've got Girls' Generation, who are promoting Mr. Mr., 2NE1, who are promoting Come Back Home, and 4Minute with What You Doin' Today. I'm sure you guys know where this is going. 4Minute took the huge win, with the results even stunning the members themselves.
네, 축하드립니다.
아유. 자, 트로피 받아주시고요. 축하드립니다.
해주세요. 감사합니다.
And the girls kept on improving and evolving their image, infusing it with a perfect blend of sexy, badass, and powerful. Case in point, Crazy. Anyone who's seen this MV knows it's a masterpiece, taking full advantage of the strengths of each member. It's so clear that these girls are in their element with this release, and that translated to success on the charts too, as it debuted at number 1 on the World Albums chart. And of course, 4Minute's final gift to K-pop fans was the amazing album Act 7, for which they collaborated with Skrillex. The title track Hate once again did an amazing job of showcasing how these girls own whatever room they're in, and of course there's that epic drop to start the chorus too. But much like the story began, 4Minute's time as a group ended with a wild story involving their label Cube. Cube announced on June 13th, 2016 that 4Minute would disband upon expiration of their contracts, with Hyuna being the only one re-signing. However, there were conflicting stories at the time about the progress of negotiations, with some outlets even reporting that 4Minute found out about Cube's announcement on the news, not from the label directly. Whatever the case though, it was finalized, and after 7 years, 4Minute disbanded as a group. Over those 7 years, 4Minute really left their mark on the K-pop industry. These 5 ultra-talented girls took the Korean music scene by storm, adorning that patented bad girl image at a time when the norm for girl groups was far from that. With each new release, they continued to perfect their formula, adding in some edginess here and some sexy choreography there that ended up meaning that sometimes they walked the line of being safe for broadcast. But 4Minute didn't care one bit about that. They're the epitome of doing what they want unapologetically, and alongside girl groups like 2NE1, they really did break the mold and open up a world of possibilities for other girl groups too. That trailblazing paid huge dividends, with the girls reigning supreme as superstars in both Korea and Japan for years. And boy did they go out with a bang, releasing the legendary songs Crazy and Hate as their final 2 title tracks. Thankfully for Fornia and all K-pop fans, we can still all get our 4Minute fix. Hyuna's illustrious solo career is still going strong, with her and Dawn working on new music that will be out soon. And she's not the only one. Jeonyeon and Gayeon had a fantastic collab just last week too. So while the group 4Minute may be no more, their members are still giving us fantastic music, and their important legacy among girl groups lives on to this day. So what's your favorite moment from 4Minute's time as a group? And where do you think that they rank among all-time girl groups? As always, thank you so much for watching this deep dive, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss all the great K-pop content coming your way right here at Hallyu. This has been deep dive number 69, 4Minute.